Don't make that face, Sid. Your smile is so much more wonderful.
What voice that gives, Sid? Expect me to smile like this? Heck, how could you smile all the time like this?
Who knows? I'm not sure either. I'm sure it's because I've just run out of tears to shed.
Elaine, I'm so sorry. Really, I've always been so caught up with work that not once I ever do anything for the family.
What brought this on all of a sudden?
If only I'd been there for Rudo and Rune. If only I'd spent more time with them, then all this never would never have happened. Ditching my family for work? I'm just like my damn dad.
Don't say that, Sid. It's not like you to regret the things you've done. I don't want to see you all weak like this.
I just don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do anymore. Damn it.
Tell me, Sid, Rune's issues, are they some kind of sickness? I've always thought to myself, if that girl had a heart, would she have lived a more normal life?
I can't say for sure. Maybe that really was her real, honest-to-goodness personality. And even if we managed to cure that flaw of Rune's, who knows what would change inside of her.
I see.
Like, does not having emotions really turn someone into that much of a mess? Does that mean that we're born selfish and arrogant and messed up, and emotions are just a way to stop us, to keep us all in check? Heck if I know.
You're right. Hey, Sid, could you tell me something? Do you hate Rune?
Don't know. Hate ain't the right word for it. Just I feel so helpless and miserable. Well, if you ask me if I hated her or not, then I guess I might have. If it weren't for Rune, then our family'd still be whole. Or so I think. That's a thought I can't really hold on to for long. So I'm just left with nothing but feeling miserable. That's all.
Hee hee.
And what about you?
At first I didn't really feel anything. I was just in a daze. It was like my entire world was engulfed in a mist, and I lost sensation in my entire body. I had no words, no feelings, no thoughts. I could barely consider myself conscious. Nothingness. That was it. But as some time passed, I felt like I was attacked by a deep nausea, like I was going to throw up while I had a piercing headache. When is this taking place? Is this a flashback? There's no real preamble to this. And it made me question why I was still even here. It made me hate the fact that I was even alive. I wanted to die. Just living was painful. So painful. I'm sure I just didn't even know what to think. But you know what? It's strange. Even after all that pain and hardship and suffering that Rune made me go through, the more I thought about it, the more I realized I just couldn't come to hate Rune. I just wanted to talk with her one last time. To ask her what thoughts she had as she lived. To know what was going through her mind when she put an end to that short life of hers. And to simply ask for her forgiveness for not trying to understand her. I'm so sorry, Rune. Sorry that you had someone like me for your mother, who you killed.
What the heck? Why are you apologizing like this? You didn't do a single thing wrong.
Don't lie for me anymore, Sid.
Everything you've done was always for the kids. You're a damn fine mother.
No, the only one I've been thinking of was myself. After the Grockwilds incident, Rune finally settled down. I thought to myself that everything would go well. I can finally have a normal family life, is what I thought. But I think I already realized it. That something was just slightly off. It was ever so subtle that the discomfort could go away in a blink of an eye. But if I ever once put that feeling into words, if I even once admitted that feeling, then our days of peace and quiet would all just shatter and fall apart. That's what I thought. I was so scared, which is why I subconsciously pretended to not notice. I was simply chasing after an illusion, nothing more. A stupid illusion of a perfect, ideal family. In the end, the only person who I was thinking about was myself.
It's all in the past, Elaine. You can only say that because all this happened. You've lived your entire life for your family's happiness. I won't believe you for a second you said you're only ever thinking about yourself.
But the MRI results were right there. And more importantly, even Rudo told me about her. Rune's behaving strangely, he told me. And how did I respond? Be nice to her. I spoke as if it weren't even my problem, and didn't listen to a word of what Rudo said. I was taking advantage of Rudo's kindness. These guys act together, I could just leave it all to him, I thought. Because of how strong Rudo was, I left him to deal with Rune. All of his worries, he just bottled up inside of himself. Even though I'm sure it was painful for him. He did all that for my sake.
Elaine,
I don't even know what to think. Please, don't leave Rudo alone, Sid.
Yeah, I promise you.
Take care of yourself and ease up on that research of yours. Because once you're gone, Rudo will be all alone.
Rudo will never be all alone, I promise you that. Hurt my throat.
All I can remember is an interest in the outside world. And frustration with the fact that I couldn't escape this island, this birdcage called the Outer Pole. Frustration, I think, is what it was. I thought everything was just so unfair. But I didn't know how to express that feeling. Everyone around me had something, an objective, that would drive them to continue their day-by-day lives. But me, I was completely empty. The very first time I experienced something akin to emotion was when, as a child, I saw a bird twitching on the side of the road. Perhaps it was attacked by another animal. Deep red blood seeped out of its neck as it convulsed. And eventually the bird stopped moving altogether. Some kind of feeling from deep within my chest desperately attempted to emerge. The onlookers voiced their pity for the bird. I said it was funny. Everyone stared at me with the strangest looks. After seeing death right before my eyes, I wanted to see it again. I wanted to feel that feeling again. In hindsight, perhaps that really was a pity. I wasn't even able to distinguish some just simple emotion. After observing the other people around me, I was able to mimic their own behavior. When I was a child, I was confined to the house. There were a few people who were always around. They were my mother and my brother. My mother had a weak constitution, but whenever she spoke, she was very energetic. Although her body was weak, her spirit was strong. She's a very warm person. I didn't know how to respond to that warmth of hers. There's nothing stranger and more alien to me than her unconditional love. I couldn't even begin to comprehend it. My brother, even though he spoke gently, he always had a scowl on his face. And it was well deserved, because I was constantly causing him nothing but grief. Despite all that, he still worked hard, and every single day, at Zavit's enterprise. Even though no one expected anything of him, he continued to diligently toil away, in the shadow of his little sister. He was constantly anxious, being compared to his father by everyone around him. Always afraid of having to succeed his father, Sid Zavitz, who was a multi-talented one-in-a-million prodigy. The barrier he had to scale reached all the way to the heavens. It was impossible. Rudo himself knew this, and still chose to try and surmount it. He constantly aimed for the summit, not even knowing if he could ever make it to the top. I remember that upon seeing that brother of mine, within me rose a powerful desire to destroy it all. In hindsight, perhaps I looked up to him. For his persistence and grit to take on even the toughest challenges all by himself. All I could do was mimic others. I was frantically trying to reconstruct a present. While on the other hand, my brother was fervent and single-minded in forging a path forward. I was just so jealous of that. Looking back on all this, there really is just a hair's breadth of difference between all kinds of emotions. I actually was driven by these strange alien things called emotions after all. But I am the one who killed my mother, and I am the one who ruined my father, and I am the one who caused my brother to suffer. Dad, why did you bring me back to this world? Did you bring me back here just so I can wallow in despair? Is all this my atonement? If only I had been slightly different, then I wouldn't have caused all these people to experience such pain and suffering. I've done so many things I can never take back. I've committed so many wrongs that even my death could not hope to absolve. I truly was a being that should never have been. But then, what am I? Is the man I consider my father truly Sid Savitz? Was the person who I'd always stared emptily at truly my brother Rudo? Are my memories Rune's memories? Rune is someone who should never have been born. That means that I should never have been born. And am I Sarah? If I am, that means I'm only borrowing these memories from Rune. If that's the case, then just what exactly is Sarah? Nothing makes sense anymore. There's only one thing I know. I don't want to cause Rudo any more trouble. If he truly does find my very existence contemptuous, then I would gladly die? Be destroyed? What? So what am I really? If only I could have seen Miss Selphine and Miss Rotona once more. I wanted to tell them goodbye. Sir. Yes? Your dismantlement will be determined by a collective vote tomorrow. Return to Lab 9 and stand by there for the remainder of today. Head straight to Lab 9. I've already informed Volta and the others. Follow their orders. Understood. Mr. Rudo, thank you for everything. Oh. I believe I ordered you to switch off your emotions. I couldn't. I tried so many times, but it seems I don't have the access rights to do so. If you couldn't do so, then why'd you still follow my order? How could you abide by my illogical, preposterous orders without a single word of complaints? Because that's what you desired of me. Why? Why are you smiling? Because I'm happy. What? I've always been taking things away from you, but now I can finally give you something that you've always wanted. Something I've always wanted. The possibility of me becoming Rune will cease to exist. I thought about just running away so many times. I thought about my death, my destruction. But if I disobeyed your orders, then you would end up shouldering the responsibilities for my actions. Finally the time has come that I'm no longer needed. If you have emotions, do you not feel fear? Aren't you afraid? I am afraid. Very much so. So afraid that I just want to run away this very minute. But what I fear even more is that my existence will only serve to cause you even more pain. What? I know that you're really a nice, kind person. You were always watching out for your little sister. I'm sure that back then she didn't realize just how dearly you thought of her. Now, I'm sure she can understand. Just how much of Rune's memories have been restored inside you? I don't know. As time passes, fragments of the memories are slowly coming back to me. As for whether those are truly my memories, there's no way for me to tell. What? Just what in the world are you? I don't know anymore. Not a single thing. But with one thing I do know. Oh. They changed her name back to Rune. Rudo, I'm just a girl that admires you as my brother. But I don't even know what that means. Damn it. Rudo will never be alone. I promise you that. Dad, you son of a bitch. Rune. Will you call me Rune? Is it okay? Is it okay if I call you brother again? Do whatever you want. You mean it? Ugh. Brother, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. Rudo, there's a formula I've never once calculated right before my eyes. I don't think my processing could ever keep up with it. Is this Rune talking? I think this is the source of the noise that's always been deep inside my heart. The emotions behind my destructive tendencies from before. My feelings for you as a brother. This is Rune Prime, okay. Why didn't I notice it sooner? This equation is so fast I could just break it down. Yet so exasperatingly simple. What do people call this feeling? At first, I wished I had never given birth to Rune. I wished I had never left my hometown, moved to Cadia, and worked at Zavitz. I wished I never met you, that I should have just stayed and took over the family business. I wish I had never had anything to do with the name Zavitz. That a life like that one would have been much better. But, you know, that's impossible. I'm so glad I have you, and Rudo, Rune. I love you all so madly from the bottom of my heart, so just thinking about it is depressing. A life without that girl. I couldn't possibly imagine that, even if I wouldn't end up like this. Line. We've had our ups and downs, but I'm so glad I met you. I'm so glad I gave birth to Rudo, even though the world may never forgive us for it. I'm so glad I gave birth to Rune. I'm so glad to have lived. The line. I love you, Sid. It was a fun life. Yeah, keep saying your name. Everything's in your hands now.